Hello, my beloveds. This is Rev Sue Frederick, and tonight we are talking about the energy of the number eight as we enter August and get the energy reading on how that eight vibration of August is going to affect us. And also remembering that we are in a nine universal year, which is about surrender, completion, culmination, highest wisdom, highest lessons, also surrendering how we want things to go. And now we combine that with the eight energy of August. So I'm going to give us an energy update for August. So abundance and divine strength are classic interpretations of the number eight. And so as we step into August, we really focus and feel the energy focusing of the world, focusing on abundance, empowerment, mastery, all of these things that are very much in alignment with the number eight. The number eight can be considered spiritual strength made manifest in the physical world. So, for example, if you are an eight path soul, if that's your birth path, you came to bring your spiritual wisdom to this physical world, but to manifest it with power and grace and abundance and right use of power. We can say empowerment rather than either giving your power away or abusing your power. Eight is the number that teaches us how to hold great power with humility and grace. It's that it carries the frequency of divine empowerment, like a warrior, for example. If you picture a sacred warrior, that is really kind of the energy of the eight. And it is the soul who's learned hard lessons in their lifetime, and now they're stepping forward with wisdom and strength, and they won't back down. So it's so interesting how the numbers go because last month, July, was the number seven, which is all about turning inward, reflecting, and thinking. And of course, the world can read that as weakness, but it's just a very important, vital part of the cycle of energy that we all walk through. And then we charge into August, and August says we are loud and proud and strong and ready to war, but also ready to own our financial abundance in our personal lives and in the world. So if you turn, another really cool thing about the number eight, if you turn eight on its side, you see that infinity symbol. And I've always loved how the numbers have these. So, for example, the seven had the sharp edges of like a hoe or something. So, you're going to pick at things, you're going to analyze, you're going to study and reflect. Its sharp edges. The eight comes in and says, this is all about eternal karma. This is all about how I put my energy out in the world and how it comes back to me, and learning to work with that endless cycle of the eternity symbol in the eight, that if I abuse my power, that will come back to me. If I empower others, that will come back to me and empower me. And this is a beautiful lesson of the number eight. I always say that if you chose to be an eight path soul in this life, it means you're a very evolved soul because it's a very hard path to walk in the earth world. Because when you think of it, what is it that humans misuse most of all on earth? Power. And yet, what is the best thing that we've ever seen humans do on earth? And that is to empower others to be, whether you're a political leader, someone who starts a nonprofit, someone who takes care of animals who are stranded or strayed or injured. We are empowering others, which makes us stand in our good self. And the minute we say, no, I'm going to make that person feel less than, then now we are in the dark use of the number eight. Eight is the number of material and spiritual abundance. So if you are feeling disconnected from your spirituality, it's very important that in August you get in alignment with your spiritual wisdom, because you will have to use that enriching inner power of spiritual wisdom in order to not abuse the outer power of eight. And this means that August invites us to align our soul's purpose with earthly action so that we can manifest prosperity for ourselves through our work, not just for ourselves, though, but also to do work that is for the good of all, that then creates abundance for us that we turn around and offer to the world at large. Eight is also a number of teaching great responsibilities. So, for example, if you come in as an eight path soul, what you learn, I've often said it's like the journey of the superhero. If you watch the Spider-Man movies or any of those things, um, the person first gets to Earth and realizes, wow, they're powerful. People listen to them when they talk, when they do things. It really has a ripple effect of affecting the world. And then they come to the moral dilemma of it, which is, so do I want to use this power just to feel like, wow, look at me? Or do I want to use, and also, do I want to use this power that makes me feel in control of others? That is the wrong use of power. Or do I really want to internalize my wisdom, my spirituality, and learn how to wield the power of the soul rather than the power of the ego? And I think that's a really important way to look at it all the month of August. Am I using my personal power, my abundance, my words, my actions to bring spiritual power to the world, or ego power? And that is your choice, which brings you to the karmic eternity loop of the eight when it's turned on its side. So in August, it's time for you to reflect on your particular path and how you are spending and using your energy, everything about yourself. If you are helping others feel good about themselves, that is right use of it. Now, when you step into your spiritual authority and really get behind that, that is the greatest use of power, not to abuse others or manipulate them, but to show them their own spiritual and beautiful essence, that we are all part of the God source. So another important part of this eight energy is that you can't be powerful when you're afraid, or at least it's not the right way to be powerful, because then you'll make choices that are not for the highest good for all. So we have to release our fear in August, our fear around money, our fear around political leadership, and really kind of choose our lane. You know, what is mine to do in this world, in the state that it's in? Is it mine to be involved in politics? Is it mine to help people one-on-one, or write books or teach? What are the things I am here to do with my power that will help the world move forward? Um, One of the things I love is about numerology is that we're all going to experience the number eight in our lifetimes, even if it's not our soul path. So, for example, we have the 9-year reinvention cycles that we all walk through. And every single time you hit an eight personal year, and again, if you have any questions about that, you can go to my Soul Path Calculator. It's free. It's on my website, suefrederick.com, and just type in your birth date. You'll find out what personal year you're in. And what that means is that when you're in an eight personal year, every choice that comes to you, every challenge, every relationship problem, every job loss or gain is all asking you the question of how am I going to use my power? Am I stepping up to my power? And am I empowering others? So we've all had to walk that in our 8 personal years. So now when we get to August, the 8th month, the whole world is dealing with these issues this month. So remember, it's about power of the soul, not the ego. And that happens through spiritual alignment of our actions with our higher self. So here are some fun practices I came up with when I was meditating today about the number 8. How about you sit for an 8-minute meditation every morning in August and really breathe into asking yourself questions like, what is the right use of my power this month? Have I put myself in a bad financial situation? Because if so, I've got to turn that around, and the month of August will give me an opportunity to do that. Or if I've been creating abundance, how can I now turn around and offer some of that abundance to the world? Those are good questions for an 8-minute meditation in the month of 8. And also write down 8 things you want to manifest in August. That's a very fun play on how the 8 will affect your life. Say, okay, these are the 8 things I want to manifest in August, and then every day make sure that your personal power is in alignment with your spiritual power, your soul, your wisdom, and then see if you at the end of the month have manifested those 8 things. But taking it beyond ego is important. So let's look at the world and say, what are the 8 things we want to see happening in the world at large in August? For example, people dropping their incredible conflict, their demonizing of each other for having different ideas about the world. And that's something I would love to see happen in August. So make a list of things that you think would help the world in August and meditate on it, visualize it, focus it, and perhaps we can really use the 8 in August to make a positive difference in the world. Um, the other thing that could be fun in August is choose 8 people in your life that you need to forgive, that you haven't been able to forgive. Um, use the 8 number of accountability, of energetic clarity, of power to say, I am going to forgive these people and go into my soul and see them as souls on a journey, let go of any negative energy that I'm carrying towards them. It doesn't mean you have to go be their best friend, but it certainly means that as the 8 unfolds in August, you're cleaning yourself of the heavy lack of forgiveness that can weigh us down on earth. And then you're also opening up that energetic connection you have with those people so that there's a possibility of healing conversations in the future. I've always said that forgiving people first has to be done energetically, where we see them in our mind's eye and send them so much unconditional love, clear that energy between us, hold them in a high space of love and empowerment. And then as we get to see them again in person, we will notice that the energy between us is different and better and smoother. And without having to talk about what we've been upset about, we can really smooth it out and forgive. And that is a really powerful thing to do in August. So my request of the angels for the month of August is that we call on the angels to align us with our own right use of power, our divine abundance, and to bring the world into a state of divine abundance and right use of power. Because remember, war is wrong use of power. If the world could really align with soul power instead of ego power, there would be no war. So let our power be rooted in love. Let our success be aligned with our soul and our hearts open to the infinite blessings of spirit. And so it is. So if anybody has any questions to ask about the energy of the number 8, this is your time. Thank you.